Mayegun, the command of the masses. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary.
Thank you so much for joining me. Good evening to you, good morning to you, and then a good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun Diary, àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làwa mọ̀.
So people will say, no light, no job, no fuel. Now people are saying, no Naira, all under APC. Egbekegbe, that is expected the same Nigerians, right, to elect them again next month. Something you've never seen before.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, lórí YouTube, and yes,
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today, yes, we will start in a minute. A lot of us have actually been reacting a bit differently when Kolu reacted to the scarcity of fuel and the scarcity of new Naira notes. A lot of people were like, what's his own problem? Because he will probably never have to queue for fuel and would never have to queue for new Naira notes. What could be the issue? Why is he raising alarm? Why is he more concerned now? And a lot of people have said a lot of things as well of why he's speaking up. However, I've got my own theory too, which you can go out there and then prove or disprove. However, we know that the changing of Naira was a particular move of Bokwari to tame the likes of Tifnumbu and other money bags. As ironical as this may sound, I'll tell you more. Almost 100 days ago, right, Emefiole came out and said they were changing Naira. We didn't know that they were just recoloring it. But he did say why they had to do it before the 2023 elections. He said it. He said that as a central bank of Nigeria, they are printed so amount of money, and tracking those money, they figured out that 2.7 trillion of that money is not in circulation in Nigeria. This money is in the hands of private individuals, mostly politicians. So they came up with their policy on, we are changing the money. And you need to change all of your own notes as well. God knows, 2.7 trillion is a lot of money. You know that? That's some heavy lifting of paper Naira. What do they call them? 2.7 trillion. And that is why, before now, we were hearing that their 2023 election is going to be for the highest bidder this time around, since the Ezego of Bodilon is also running. They might have to buy a single election for up to 50,000 Naira. But timing is a factor too. If Emefiole is changing all the money, they will need to bring all this out, or they will need to disburse them. Now, it seems that to disburse 2.7 trillion Naira cash by politicians in Nigeria is even impossible. So, few days ago, Kalu raised the alarm although there is a deliberate attempt that we can see, right, even by the banks themselves, refusing to give you new notes. All of this, I believe, are all the handiwork of Bokwari Emefiole. And this speaker today, a few days ago, Kalu came out and he raised the alarm that he knew that they were only keeping all those new notes away so that people like him wouldn't have access to them. They are hoarding fuel, the one that you have been suffering from for, I don't know, a year. The last 3 months has been the hell, hasn't it? So, why is he raising alarm? Who is the Minister of Petroleum in Nigeria? Bokwari. If there is no petrol in Nigeria, if you are buying at very, very exorbitant prices, who should you talk to? PDP, Labour Party, AAC, or who should you speak to other than the party in power, whose president is also the Minister of Petroleum? But the coward Tifnumbu couldn't mention Bokwari's name. But nevertheless, the message got to Bokwari, and they got it. It's not hard. So they didn't respond. A day, 2 days after that, they had to drag him to Daura to go and apologize to Bokwari. It was after that meeting in Daura yesterday that Bokwari now speak today. You know what he said? He said, well, I'm sorry, Nigerians, that you have to please endure this. This policy, there is no going back on it. We are not changing it. By 31st of January, if you still have any old note with you, just count it as a collateral damage and keep it as a souvenir. As much as it's going to be painful to some of you, you know something. A lot of these money bag criminals, they are also going to lose hundreds of billions of the same stolen money that are already prepared to flood your 2023 shall to further destroy your country. Yeah, you have so much money now that you also have so much hunger. Inflation, hyperinflation, it will be worse. According to Emefiole, if this will start bringing this dirty money out in bags, drug dealers, money changers, dupers, manipulators and the rest of them, murderers, kidnappers, terrorists, they will be able to use all this money that they have collected either as ransom or as the one they actually looted from the government houses across Nigeria. Then they can give the power back to the criminals, according to Emefiole. So that's their own way. Their last shot of trying, in their way of saving you, the Nigerians. But the theory is this. The likes of Kalu wouldn't have any problem with cash, of course. But if they are target, as he believes that he is a target, of course he's going to have a problem, a big one. Now, Bokwari came out and said, we put this policy together to target corrupt people, money launderers, and then kidnappers, thieves, according to him. So if there is anybody that is hungry about it, well, we are sorry. You would have to find another means. So when Kalu got to Zamfara today, he continued his clownish and his clownery, trying to now put this blame on somebody else. But guess what? Behind the scene, the Hallelujah Boys, the Lagos Suburbakus, they are doing everything in this last few hours to force the hand of Emefiole. But guess what? They threatened him with DSS. It seems not to be working anymore. They've threatened him with Bajabia Amule in the National Assembly. That seems not to be working as well, right? They have used the media, propaganda, the rest of that to kick him, but it seems not to be working as well, because the man that will actually tell them to postpone it or extend it for the sake of these people, right, is telling them when they met that, no, there's nothing we can do about that. What about the petrol? I don't know anything about that. Because for those who know Bokwari very well, you will tell he's a selfish person. He has always been selfish. The people that are defending him, or speaking out for him every now and then, or try to speak out for him, they are also selfish people, because behind this whole charade, behind this whole lie, is the regret, the apprehension, the fear of what will be their fate after investing this much. Bokwari is selfish. It doesn't give any damn. When he needed power, he used all tricks. They didn't work until he met the other desperado criminals. Yeah? And immediately he got what he wanted. The rest of them can go to hell. APC is a ragtag or a group of thugs. A group of mismatched, misplaced thugs. Hustlers. There is nothing that you can hold them on. You can't hold them at anything and say, okay, APC said this and they did it. Or APC said something. Okay, they didn't do it. Let's hold them responsible. They are a bunch of irresponsible, because they are just like a groupie of hustlers, criminals, thugs, chancers, opportunists. And at the top of that pyramid, APC, Egbekegbe lies or seats. Bokwari, the most selfish person you could ever see. The Northern Nigeria, they took it like their life depended on it. This bunch of rogue, selfish politicians from Northern Nigeria, desperados, terrorists, and terrorist sympathizers, they moved terror onto their own people. They terrorized their own people just because they want to traumatize Nigeria for power. And the man that got it almost, completely abandoned them. He told them, I will fight from the, I will lead from the, I will lead from the front. But yet, they couldn't find him. While they are being kidnapped, while they are being chased out of their homes and everywhere, right? Majority of these criminals speaking out for them, holding Nigeria down because they are from Northern Nigeria. Some of them can't even go back to where they come from anymore. They live permanently in Abuja, and they are representing the people that are living in the refugee camps in Northern Nigeria. But where is Bokwari? A selfish man. Very selfish, to the point that he is more concerned about the terrorists that killed the people in Northern Nigeria and across Nigeria. And they said that if you dare call them terrorists, if you dare mention their names as a Fulani terrorist, then you are committing a crime against Nigeria that right before your eyes, right, you'll be going to jail, and you'll see the terrorist walking out of rehabilitation camp with money. Tell me other selfishness that you can describe. His own political party is complete disarray. You get that? They backtracked on every promise that they made on his behalf. The one he made, the one they made on his behalf. He will tell you, I didn't know. What about, I don't know. I didn't know. I'm not aware. He's never aware because he's an irresponsible person, a selfish person. Same with those who are defending him. Selfish because they are mostly doing so because of what they expect to be given, the reward they expect to get back. They call that loyalty. They don't have anything to do with Nigeria. Look at all of them. If you love something, this is the way they treat Nigeria? Is the way they have treated and managed Nigeria? Is that the way you treat something you love? Is that how you treat something you like? They don't have any goddamn feeling for anything Nigeria but themselves. And that is why in 2019, when he wanted a second term, they put up a bogus reconciliation. They lived a lie, rigged themselves in, all because they were waiting for a reward time, a payback time. But now, that payback time that Tifnumbu probably was bragging about is no longer being, the green light is no longer being seen. When it was Bokuwari's time, there was no reason to change Naira, Abi. But when it is Tifnumbu's time, they decided to change Naira. Can you see the difference? But they will continue to lie to themselves, hoping that maybe what they are thinking, maybe Bokuwari will switch side. Maybe Bokuwari is, you know what I mean? I'm not asking you to believe any of their drama. I'm just trying to show to you the characters that have contributed to whatever you are experiencing in Nigeria today. And the same way they are trying to deflect their blame as irresponsible people. Even at the face of these ruins, they still can't be honest and straightforward. And I don't know how much of you actually really believe them for what it is. So Tifnumbu knows that he is not getting that same expected, what do you call it? Incumbency support. You know that Bokuwari is barely appearing at his rallies. Most of the people working with Bokuwari are barely appearing with Tifnumbu. He's running it on his own. He could sense that he's being sabotaged. He could sense now that what they have done to Nigerians for 7 years, that they gave no damn. Selfishly, now they want to drive on that and say, well, don't blame us. Blame the people who have no chance of either increasing your fuel or hiding them, or power to change your money and the rest. So Emefiole stayed away. He went to London to go and stay with Bokuwari's cousin, trying to figure out that they won't embarrass him, because the plan then was, you know, Bokuwari, he demented Bokuwari himself, yeah? One thing is this, okay? The only thing that Bokuwari think about Buhari, the only thing and the only person that Buhari think about is Buhari. If you don't know that yet, you are still lying to yourselves. Anybody can be sacrificed. And in this case, when the plot to disgrace Emefiole was hatched, it was outside Nigeria. The plan then was, he was going to be arrested from the airport. They are going to handcuff him. The media are going to take his picture. So they're going to bundle him into the car by DSS and they will take him straight in. And the breaking news will be Emefiole arrested for terrorism, money laundering, and corruption. That's all they needed. Because immediately after that, it would never remain the same again. You know what? DSS will now release him. Sure you get. And I will say, oh, everything is fine. But you see, the day after that incident, right, it will not remain him. So it's either he's going to have to just comply with everything they have told him, even as Bokuwari is the one telling him to do what he is doing. Sure you get. So they can just shortchange him that way, that even Bokuwari won't be able to help him anymore. That's how dangerous Tifnumbu is and his gang. And those who are around Bokuwari also knows that. So the war between them, that these cowards are making it like a cold war, not a public one, is this. So once they arrest him that way, it will automatically, right, extend the date for the, what do you call it, for the exchange of the Naira and all of that, beyond the election date, beyond every time. I mean, after that, it's just going to resign. It will just be like, after consulting with my family and everyone, I'm resigning. So it will resign. So around that time, they will just give anyhow name to, what do you call it? To Bokuwari, to pass to their National Assembly. Whatever happened after that, Emefiole will be gone. And this deadline will be extended. And the job is done. They can move on to any other person they feel like is trying to sabotage Tifnumbu in APC. Nobody is sabotaging Tifnumbu outside the APC. I've told you. if APC is going to be disgraced in February next month, listen to me very well, okay? It's not because I'm trying to underrate you, especially some of you are really so determined to deal with them. Here you get. If APC is going to be disgraced in February, here you get, it's going to be because APC have destroyed APC from within, and they've done the job for the rest of you like halfway. So when Emefiele heard the plot, he was supposed to return back to Nigeria before, it was supposed to return back to Nigeria around the 17th or 18th of December. Emefiele stayed away. Instead of going to Nigeria from America, he went for another summit somewhere in Asia. After that, he returned back to London. And they were waiting for him in Nigeria. So until when the coast was clear, when Emefiele will land in Nigeria in 2023, this January, it was the presidency that came to pick Emefiele from airport. That was how Emefiele was able to access his office. You know what I mean? And when Bukwari was going to Senegal a few days ago, he took him with him. So yesterday, Tifnubu went to meet Bukwari. See, at least if he knows that, number one, APC is deliberately getting you more and more frustrated, hungry, and I believe it's deliberate. And for those who know, except they use their power of rigging and everything, APC have no chance anywhere, for real. And Tifnubu knows that. Now look at it this way. If Bukwari is not going to guarantee the military and the police for Tifnubu on the election, their job is to make sure that nobody disturb their thugs anywhere. You know the drill now. And then those who are going to be moving money all over Nigeria, they don't need money from any bank anymore. They have the money. But if Emefiele plan goes high, all the money will be useless. God knows how many hundreds of billions of naira. Let me tell you something. They said in their plot, listen to me, if they extend this their deadline beyond 31st and beyond the election day that they are planning, the plot of Tifnubu that he told the Afenifere, yes, Adebanjo said, listen, I know there is a lot of people who don't like APC anymore. Of course. But money will take care of that. And I was like, it's not about money. It's not always about money. It was like, well, whatever money cannot do, more money will do it. That with the plan that he has, it doesn't need anybody's help, anybody's support other than just the normal, it doesn't financial support. It doesn't need anybody's financial support. He has all it needs to get what he wants. In Nigeria, they have 198,000 polling units. Here you get. Those are the places where they would do the election. 198,000 polling units. With Tifnubu, they don't need all of the units. In their bracket and in their plan, with just 25 states and Abuja, here you get, then the rigging machine can go to work. They are fine. Guess how much they are budgeting for each unit across Nigeria for 2023? If this Emefiele plan, if it fails, and the Tifnubu's gang, they are able to push it through, this is their lifeline. No? This is what will determine their election. No? No matter what you are facing and suffering right now, that if Bukwari is making you suffer right now, this is their plan. Imagine each polling unit receiving 10 million naira to buy voters. And you are targeting over 100,000 polling units. Start putting all the zeros behind each other. Then you see the billions and the hundreds of billions that they are actually ready to spend. It's nothing. They have it. 2.7 trillion naira cash that Central Bank of Nigeria printed is missing. They can't trace them. They can't find them anywhere. Here you get. And they believe that 80% of their money is in the hands of those who are ready to continue the war of terror in Nigeria. Well, in this case, it seems that terrorists are trying to prevent looters. But what all of you should know is that if Tinubu have all this money, why is he interested in becoming president? Very, very, very serious question, very important question. The answer is this. There is no thief in the current democratic dispensation in Nigeria in the last 23 years. Shall you hear me now? That is as big as Tinubu. Let me rephrase that. Since democracy started in 1999, there is no thief from that moment to this day, federal or state or local or anywhere, including those they have given oil block and the rest of them, no living thief is as rich as Tinubu. No, none. Now, there is only one thing that remains. Tinubu was able to get his own dynasty of thievery institutionalized in Lagos. And as much as this has been in place for over 23 years, yeah, somebody can wake up tomorrow. Are you hearing me? And they can take all of that away with just one single stroke of legislation. Yeah, one single legislation can take all of that away. Everything that Tinubu has taken from the people of Lagos all his life. But if he is able to become former president of Nigeria, that is a different level of thievery. It's a different level entirely. There's some things, there's some level to these things that once you get to that stage, you don't touch them. Baba, we are alive now. When Obasanjo turned Operation Feed the Nation, OFN, and he turned it to Obasanjo Farm Nigeria. You dey read them, you don't fit do anything. All the OFN land in Benue, all the OFN land in Niger, in Sokoto, in all this Niger Delta area, everywhere across Yoruba land. With one single thing, I say, you know what I mean? It became OFN, Obasanjo Farms Nigeria. You know it, I know it, but nobody can touch it, could touch any of them. That's some level of criminality that once you cross it, even if they are taking things from you, they can never take everything. Tinubu needs immunity, lifetime immunity, even when he's dead. Did you not hear Abacha's wife? You were reading about Abacha's money, Abacha's loot, Abacha's this, Abacha's that, but it never ends. Abacha family, they give money to politicians to run for office, to be governors in northern Nigeria. Haven't they have you not heard that? That's how much the thieves that succeeded Abacha have to protect some level of asset of Abacha, which are actually like your own asset. So once Tinubu becomes president of Nigeria, everything he took from Lagos becomes the Tinubu's family's for life. You don't touch them. You get what I mean? So he's not doing this because he wants money. Nah. Somebody who wants to spend over ₦1 trillion for an election. And you think it's actually, I mean, it's because he wants money? A demented sick man wants money? No. It needs that protection. It needs that immunity that even if, to be able to go to wherever he wants all over the world. And he won't have to be looking behind his shoulder. You get what I mean? It needed that protection. And he will kill everybody for it if he has to. You get what I mean? He will lie. He will be a coward. He will do everything. And the Hallelujah boys, they would do anything as well for whatever reward this is going to bring to them. Let me take you to Osun quickly. You heard about that Osun tribunal yesterday where they said that the governor cannot be going go lo 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 lo, Buga. After they counted after they used the beavers to realize that there were more voters and all of that. So the man himself responded in his own words, just a few minutes.
My good people of Osun State, we have all heard the split judgment of the governorship election tribunal. 2 members of the tribunal delivered 2 opposing judgments. The chairman and the member 1. The member 2 did not deliver any judgment. She abstained. The chairman's judgment affirmed the claim of overvoting, while the member 1's judgment agreed with our position as captured by the beavers machine as the primary source of accreditation, data of true accreditation on the day of the election. The reality of my election as the governor of Osun State is captured in the member 1's judgment. The claim of overvoting in the chairman's judgment was unfounded. This was clearly a miscarriage of justice. I repeat, this was clearly a miscarriage of justice. Based on the above, there was no majority judgment. I repeat, based on the above, there was no majority judgment. My good people of Osun State, I am still your governor. I have the right of appeal on the chairman's judgment, and I have instructed my lawyers accordingly. You gave me your mandate. Our election remains valid, and by the grace of God, we will triumph at last. I call on you all to remain calm and go about your normal activities peacefully. Please remain law-abiding. We have strong faith in God and in our judiciary. God bless you all. God bless Osun State. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all.
Governor Jackson Adeleke of Osun. Imagine a tribunal, in their judgment, writing that you as a governor doing this, is not allowed. You cannot be going lo, you go lo, buga, you go lo, buga. No. They wrote it in the judgment that so this second appellant, second defendant, you cannot be going lo and buga because you did not win the election. Thereby, they should withdraw your certificate. But in Osun today, I have to add that too, okay? This is what happened. The people of Osun themselves, they feel like, hey, they don't cheat us, so they don't rob us, so this is what we will do ourselves, so we voted, though. Again, Osun.
Fún àpẹẹrẹ adájọ́ mẹ́ta ló wà. Adájọ́ kan support pé result tó wà nínú Beavers àti from ECA ó correspond. Ó sọ pé òun faramọ́ lẹ́yìn tó support wa. Adájọ́ kejì ó kàn kí wa lásán ni. Àmẹ́jọ́ tó dábàá yìí kò sọ pé òun support kò ní òun against. Chairman wa sọ pé Adémọ́lá Adélékè ń bùgá ó lólòlò ó bùgá. Ṣé èmi ò mọrú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn o. So ó dá mi lójú pé wọ́n ra ìdájọ́ náà ni. Ó sì dá mi lójú pé kò lè stand the test of time. Ó dá mi lójú pé appellate court á change gbogbo wrong sí tribunal ti ṣe. Ó dá mi lójú pé Adémọ́lá Adélékè will remain the governor till the next 8 years. Èyí táwọn Tinubu ń ṣe wọ́n kàn ń fowó ra ìdájọ́ lásán ni kò dẹ̀ lè ṣeé ṣe. Ẹ ti rí gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun pé kò tí àwọn ẹ̀ lọ́rùn àwọn èèyàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo káàkiri wọ́n ń ra ìdájọ́ torí wọ́n rò pé àwọn lè rórè ọ̀fẹ́ láti gba Ọ̀ṣun fún presidential election kò lè ṣeé ṣe òfò náà máa mú bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa fi lulẹ̀ ni ṣé ibi tí epo ti di 500 naira per litre tí wọ́n ti di 45,000 naira per bag wọ́n rò pé àwọn tún lè gba Ọ̀ṣun òfò náà máa mú bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dábí lójú pé wọ́n ra ìdájọ́ náà ni ó kù ilé-ẹjọ́ méjì ohun tó wá jọni lójú ni pé àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ APC wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ná àwọn èèyàn wọ́n ń kó àdá wọ́n ń kó bọn wọ́n ń balẹ̀jẹ́ bọ̀nà jẹ́ wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé kò ń ṣe final court ní tribunal court ṣùgbọ́n mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n á mọ̀fọ́ lẹ́yìn ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Bolúwadúró ni pé gbogbo èèyàn jáde even ní Ìrágbìjí tí èmi ń sojú fún tí mo ti ń díje àti Ìrágbìjí àtìlẹ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí àwọn èèyàn aráàlú tún jáde wípé ìdájọ́ náà ìdájọ́ èké ni àwọn dìbò yan ọmọ Balógun ní sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ Nurudeen Jackson Adémọ́lá Adélékè fún gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun nítorí pé àwọn fẹ́ bọ́ nínú ìyà àti òṣì àti ìṣẹ́ so kí ilé-ẹjọ́ wá yí padà ní gbogbo àwọn fi jáde tí ẹ bá wò látara àwọn ẹni tí jáde náà pariwo pé ìdájọ́ yìí o àwọn ò fẹ́ kí President Muhammad Buhari kó gbà wá kí ìjọba kó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ àgbà pé wọ́n ra ẹjọ́ yẹn ni ohun tó bù ìburú ni pé kò wá sí òfin ní Nàìjíríà àwọn èèyàn ti ojú òfin mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ra adájọ́ yìí ni ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ìpè pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ fi Ọlọ́run ìdájọ́ òdodo á wá sí ìmúṣẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ láṣẹ.
Àlàyé mi mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. You are dealing with Kolu. You see that Kolu Tifnumbu when I told you not to underrate him. Even Bokwari would have to use for if Bokwari really want to tame him, like he said that his plot is to cut corrupt politicians that will take Nigeria to, that stuff. I mean, don't buy that, but I'm just saying, if he decide, except if he uses the normal instrument of the government to try, he can only try, to try and break Kolu from within. You have no idea. This man was given court justices in Lagos, outside Lagos. Judges from Igbo land. Judges from the north. He was giving them choice land, properties in Lagos as a gift. It has nothing to do with them. They will just say, Justice Chukwuemeka Chinelu. Wow, just from Ashiwaju said he's doing some things for some judges. And they say they should give you 2 plots at Parkview, Ikoyi. That would be like, what did I do for Tifnumbu to give me 2 plots? Okay, thank you. Justice Umaru Dansadau, Shokoto. They have given him a choice land in GRA. It's that one. It's never been to Lagos. That's the kind of person we call Luis. Now, talk about some justices, judges, and everybody that are on his payroll in Lagos. Choice land, we are talking about lands, That those judges, they were now reselling some of them. Imagine somebody gave you land. You know ASCO, you know do anything, no. Nobody say you work for Amo, Tifnumbu, and they gave you land, a judge. And you've never been to Lagos. Say, okay, see, property development, how much can you sell that land? They say, they want to buy the land from you, ma, for 700 million naira. 700 million. Really? Okay, tell them to pay. That is Kolu indirectly giving a judge 700 million naira without doing anything for him. So one day he go chap your door. He will knock your door and say, the Chief Justice, how are you? Oh, congratulations on your new appointment. We need your help. There is a tribunal case coming. There is this particular one coming. Ask those who know the system very well. They'll tell you. That's Kolu. Tifnumbu. Joke with him. No think calm. But what he can do is not going to be through legitimate means. It is through systemic deep state. Sure you get? Some of you think Tifnumbu carry money. He will carry money like this and go and give people and bribe them. I'm talking about some of them will tell you, I have known Tinubu for 22 years. I have known Tinubu for 20 years. Now lie. Tifnumbu has reached out to them years ago. This is 2023. They may be needed this year. He has all their names. He has all their contacts. He watches most of them growing. Some of them, because they wanted to get appointed as a justice of here and there. Sure you get? Tifnumbu has been a help here and there. And a payback time is that if you want to fight somebody like that through the court, good luck. This guy used the same court to get so many of his lackeys to become governors in their different states. Aregbemugo became governor through court. Oshiomole became a governor through court. Ifayewon became a governor through court. Give me more names of them that became governor through court. And they hold this big lift in their lives to Tifnumbu, Kolu, and the abracadabra that happened behind the scene. But because the mood of the people was that, yes, the progressive, they didn't know. It was all a plot, a long game. That's why they call him the master of long game. He is demented now. He's relying more on his money. And this time around, some of the people who have taken that pledge and allegiance to him for so long, they know he's weak, he's tired, he's sick. But he has the money. And with his money, they can always be loyal because at the end of the day, they'll get more reward for giving him what he wants. So for tribunal in Osun, good luck to you. Ask Emefiole. When Emefiole returned to Nigeria with the protection of Bukwari, he quickly told them, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all of you who are complaining. Sorry, 31st is 31st. It's not going to change. Or more. It's not changing.
He says reports suggest that many people want the deadline to be shifted for reasons ranging from their inability to gain access to the new notes or deposit their old currencies. I must say here that unfortunately I don't have good news for those who feel that we should shift the deadline. My apologies. The reason is because just like the president had said on more than 2 occasions, and even to people privately, that for us 90 days, in fact, we feel is 100 days is enough for anybody who has money or the old currency to deposit it, the money in the banks. And we took every measure to ensure that all the banks were open or remain still open to receive all old currencies. 100 days, we believe, is more than adequate. We called on the banks. We said, not only are we requesting you to extend your banking hours so that you can receive old currencies, but we're also asking you to keep your doors open on Saturdays. Ladies and gentlemen, the banks did not have any reason to even keep their banking halls open on Saturdays. Neither did they see the kind of rush that they anticipated. Oh, there were normal people who came in to deposit money into the banks. And maybe in the course of time, I'll also give you details about how much had come in. So we do not see any reason to begin to talk about a shift because people could not deposit their old monies into their banks.
We are sorry. Even though it's going to be so inconveniencing for so many of you. Or you can imagine the type of high blood pressure, hypertension, and the rest going on in the life and the minds of the politicians who believe that they've figured this whole thing out. But now they have trillions of naira to either dish out to all of you, or by February, if Emefiole, they have about 72 hours to go, 3 days. So if Emefiole and Bukwari insist as they have insisted today, if they didn't change it, Baba, you may start seeing all of you who have been dreaming to see Ghana must go back with money. I'll be some of you who have been, what do you call it? Who have been dreaming that you found a bag of Ghana must go with heavy money. This may be your dream about to come true. It's just that there's going to be useless money. Sure you get. All of you where they don't give soap, give me soap, give me soap, cut me soap, cut me soap. They don't cut you soap, you're about to give up hope. In another 7 days, say, wait, now 7 days, this is just the second day. My brother, in another 4 5 days, your soap will start the work, but now old currency you go to find for gutter, for truck, for everywhere. Because that's what we now take. That's why some people are now saying, thank you, Boko Haram. If now this one thing you won't do, you know, Nigerians, naturally, they believe that you see all those their leaders, their criminal leaders, they can't do anything to them. Okay, you know, some as they are, right? They hate their leaders, they love their leaders. Okay, so the way they do it is that they love their criminal leaders differently. Sure, you get. Okay, so somehow, if you meet Nigerians who hate the leaders, the other leaders, they will tell you that only God could punish them. They love to see them in pains. They love to see them lose things. Because according to them, nothing will they do to them. Now, even if you pray, even if you use, what do you call it, juju and everything on, you know they work. People like say, no, they work, these people are evil. But they love to see them cry. Sure, you get that they are not the only ones in agony. Sure, you get. So some people are now saying, Boko Haram, thank you. May you destroy all this money. This will not destroy our life altogether. May everybody just lose. For the first time, may all of us cry together. Imagine if you have, imagine on your street where there is no road, there's no tar road, no nothing, no electricity, no nothing. All of a sudden, on the 2nd of February, you start seeing the waste bin, moving to your street. That fine house that is on your street, owned by that politician, and they start loading papers, trash money, trash, Naira, and you are looking them from front and say, all these kind of sins are sins you should look out for. Because according to Emefiole, if these guys put back just 1.5 trillion, last one, even 1 trillion of that cash into Nigeria from January to February, Shebi, you think say recession, you did recession, Abi? Omo, go on Google now and Google Venezuela. Yeah, pick up your phone. The other phone, the other one. Yeah, pick that up and Google the crash of Venezuela economy. Don't read. Just go watch some videos after this broadcast. So Emefiole knows what they are going to do. And guess what? Emefiole alone printed 22 trillion naira cash and gave it to Boko Haram, and they shared that in 7 years. So they've crashed the economy already. That's why some are now saying that why is it that the politicians are now saying, why is it that our own 1 trillion or 2 trillion is the one that will now crash Naira? No, they are using you against Kolu, your enemy. But when the man was in Zamfara today, let me take you to Zamfara, where Kolu, after meeting Boko Haram yesterday, he was talking about the same thing, the fuel scarcity, the Naira scarcity. The news I have for you is this. Well, nobody has to get anything to tell you. The news I have for you is this. If you get any of your Naira right now, do your best and put them in your bank. The banks, unfortunately, this is some banks are not even like receiving your money again. If you go to POS now, and you say you want to save money, they won't collect the old Naira from you. And if you go to POS and you say you need a new Naira, you would have to pay some charges like you pay commission. If you need 1,000 Naira new note, you pay 200 Naira. So which means they'll give you 800. So if you need a 10,000 Naira new note, you pay 1,000 Naira. So if you need it, like on and on like that, you have to pay almost to get new note too. But it be like say this thing, you go suffer for the next few days. Then after that, you have to like watch the politicians go mad like you've never seen before. And I think it makes it more interesting. What is it going to be like from next month? So my advice for you is that do your best and put your money in the bank and don't do cash withdrawal. They buy okay, Okada. If you need to get money for Okada and the rest, if you need to take a ride where you have to use a taxi. I think some of your taxis now uses apps. Uber app. You pay through the app, don't you? So just go cashless for a few days, and watch the Rome, burn, why Caesar snores. That's Bokwari. But let's go to Zamfara, where the cowards met again, and they are always looking for who to blame. It starts with this when Kolu arrived in Zamfara today.
Jagaba shine gaba da Allah mu ne gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Bola Ahmad Tunum. Jagaba shine gaba. Jagaban. Jagaba shine gaba. Ashwaju. Jagaba shine gaba. Tunumbu. Jagaba shine gaba. Alhaji Ahmad Tunum. Jagaba shine gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Allah shine gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Sai mu da murna dare. Jagaba shine gaba. Iradar ba ta dare. Jagaba shine gaba. Sai tulun ba a kauye gari. Jagaba shine gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Masu nema ba za gari. Jagaba shine gaba. Masu kwando za su yi bari. Jagaba shine gaba. Yan na can haka shegen gari. Jagaba shine gaba. Kullum kula. Jagaba shine gaba. Sai nan gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Ashwaju. Jagaba shine gaba. Kasar mu ta kai nofar gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Tunubu ne jagoran gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Buhari da ba ta gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Shi ko ta gaba sai gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Dalike da bana nofar gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. Dan siyasa shine gaba. Jagaba shine gaba. APC. Jagaba shine gaba. PDP ta wunsila. Jagaba shine gaba. Masu kwando ba sa kula. Jagaba shine gaba. Yan bakin ciki jarin jila. Jagaba shine gaba. No walwala. Jagaba shine gaba. Wala basari ya ce in fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Tabbatar muku mai kwangyada. Jagaba shine gaba. Da na ta amana guda. Jagaba shine gaba. Jagaba shine Jagaba shine gaban kasa ta amana fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Shugaba na kasa na fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Gaban baki na fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Naji Adamu ma na fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Koli na legal ake. Jagaba shine gaba. Na bayan na fada. Jagaba shine gaba. Da nawa fadar gwam.
Jagaba shine gaba. Ashwaju. Jagaba shine gaba. Anyway, so they took him into, I believe, the government house to get him a little bit, introduced to the faces that he rode in a convoy from the airport anyway, but they still have to do it before he will eventually go out there to disgrace them, which he does so smoothly, seamlessly. But let's talk about in that Zamfara house, or Zamfara government house, where they first had a short one with Kolu before going to the stadium. Do you know that they had to pay each polling unit in Zamfara 500,000 Naira mobilization to get everybody down there? Although it is politics anyway, but the number of people they brought in didn't seem to correlate with such money. But trust me, they need to disperse this old currency.